Hello, hello. Welcome. What's going on out there in what's going on out there in the land of Earth? What is happening with all of us? Yes, such a crazy, magical, Willy Wonka chocolate factory kind of world today. You never know what's going to be what's going to happen. Whew. It is a it's a it's a heavy kind of energy today. I'm not sure, this morning on my meditation, which you can still join if you wish to join. This morning on the meditation, we were talking about anxiety because I know the last few days I have been riddled with huge anxiety. I'm not sure if you all have been feeling it, but I sure have. And when I get that, it's these waves of energy that are coming through, and I can feel it, and I get to feeling it in my legs, and my legs where they get kind of, I guess people will call it jump legs or jumpy legs. Like I just feel like I have to stretch them out. I have to, um find a way to get myself into the calm. And so in doing that, there's breathing. Of course, my breathing exercises, doing 4, 4, 4, 4 in, hold 4, release 4, and calling in Archangel Michael, calling in all the angels and saints and the Divine Mother and Father to come forth. And then I go through and I say, giving it whatever it is up to the Holy Spirit and asking for inner peace and a miracle. And that's what I've been doing a lot of. Restless legs, yes. And I get that, and it's triggered by some anxiety or something that's going on. And I knew Mars and Saturn were getting close. And it's with Mars and Saturn getting close, it's heavy shit. This is the god of karma and time. Saturn is this big, huge planet out there, and Mars is coming around. He's whipping around, and each want control. Each of them is a malefic. They're not exactly, hey, come on, let's get together, guys, and we're going to have a great time. This is, I hear you, Dana. I hear you, girl. Oh God, yes, I do. I hear you. This is where this energy and being heavy is, it can go in either two ways, maybe even both in different ways. But this is where coming in and giving it up to the Holy Spirit, asking for inner peace and a miracle is is a constant. Is a constant. It's saying it a billion times a day. Let go of grievances and choose miracles. These are my mantras I have been saying for quite some time. And this Mars and Saturn coming together. So Mars, god of war. They're also squaring the nodes, and the nodes are the fated because the nodes are controlled. They do the bidding of the sun and the moon. That's what they do. They do a bidding of the sun and the moon. Um, lots of demands from all angles, definitely, Lisa. And they do the bidding. So we have these nodes, and they're in Taurus and Scorpio right now. South node, Scorpio, north node in Taurus. And now Taurus wants us to go forward and plow the fields, grow, and allow ourselves to create beautiful things. The South Node being, and it's squaring with Mars, is a little bit darker. It can bring in a little bit of craziness, a little bit of nuttiness into our lives. And this is where it helps to have real discipline in our world, having some form of discipline and masterfulness in our focus. And this is where, in this Aquarius, now Saturn rules Aquarius, Mars doesn't. So Saturn is coming down and saying, this is what I want. This is how I want. These are the structures I want. This is the world I want. And Mars is like, yeah, really? Well, this is what I want. This is how I want. And they're not exactly friendly guys. They don't get along all the time, but they want to bring in this pruning or shearing of what it is that we really need to see within our own lives. What is it that we need to really focus on? Now, with Neptune and Pluto getting together, and they're going to be conjuncting by the end of this week, it's like Jupiter and Neptune are like, they're bringing in, they're like the stoner brothers that are wanting to bring in every single doorway for you. Here you go, man. It's great. Life is wonderful. So they want to open up all these doors, and you're just like, oh my God, what's going on with the world? And you're just feeling so overwhelmed, and things are just so escalated and feeling through the roof. Just so we have this all coming in, and here Saturn saying we don't need this, we don't need that, we don't need this. And here it is with the North Node in with Uranus, and the moon, last day for the moon to be there. It's going to move on into lovely little Gemini, which will, like, I want answers. I want to know which way you're going. What are you talking about? What is that the truth? Are you sure? So it's just like, oh my God, which way do we go? We're only little human beings on this earth walk. Freaking out. So this is learning to maximize what we need to do without stressing out and without self-medicating or using drugs in any, that aren't prescription ones that we've been said, okay, it's okay to use this. This is where we can seed. This is like, especially with this Mars and Jupiter, or Mars and Saturn coming together, this is a 2.5 year cycle. They don't get together for another 2.5 years. We also have this cycle with Jupiter and Neptune, and they won't get together another 165 years. So we have this energy of saying, what is it that we really want to seed within our lives? I'm not going to bring in the outside world right now. Okay. This is looking at our life. Now, this is where we need to really look into and say, okay, what is it that is important to me, that I really want? And with this is a major shifting. We got the sun halfway point. This is identity of who you are, and not to sit around no more. This is forward motion. The energies are forward motion. 2 years ago, around 2 years, around 2 years ago, we had Mercury retrograde in Pisces, which wasn't good. It was like, oh my God, are we ever going to get through this? And then later on in 2020, we had Mars retrograde in Aries, and we're like, oh my God, are we ever going to get through this? This is where it's like, no, we've gotten through a lot. Yes, there's a lot more. I'm not going to tell you, like, there's a lot more. It's a bumpy road. Yeah. I just saw a meme, and it said, bumpy road ahead, strap your bra on and take out your false teeth. I loved it. So strap on your bras and take out your false teeth. We're going on a bumpy road. And this is where we're going to feel the choices are extreme, and that we are coming to this extreme and big choices and lives. And I said at the beginning that this spring isn't going to be like a normal spring where it's like, oh, look at all dancing through the tulips kind of thing. This is a time of, okay, we need to start doing what we need to do in our lives. This is where, with the moon covered this this part of finding our true authentic selves, and Venus is going into Pisces. Now, she's exalted in Pisces. She loves Pisces. She could do what she wants. There's expansiveness. It's like she's entered into the land of I'm going to say Disneyland. I don't want to say that, but that's the only analogy that I got. So Disneyland, and everything is at her beckoning. Whatever she wants, because it's there, like they're going to give her. And then her buddies, like, it's like, I'm talking like a Valley girl, because that's what happens when she goes into Pisces. It's like, oh my God, my friends are here. Neptune's here. And Jupiter's here, and they're going to give me and expand whatever it is that I want, so I can get lost in this ever expansiveness and craziness of the Willy Wonka. And this is where, It might be that finding this true authentic self, that I am here to create something beautiful. And a lot of us are feeling like we're in this rut, or that the tires are spinning, 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 and we're not going anywhere yet. We're making traction, but the traction isn't as big as what we think it should be. We think that we should be going full speed ahead, yet we are doing these micro speed. We're doing the micro moments. And what to do this is to finding, of the direction and going towards the one door that we feel truly pulled to. Yes, I mean, we can have 20 doors, but this is where it's like, no, this is the door. And you might get a feeling like, but you know what? I'm not sure if this is the right door, because, maybe people are going to laugh at me. Maybe people aren't going to like this. And it's not what I usually do. It's like I wrote to Andrea, and I said, this is just a thought. This is just a thought I'm having, because it's a pull that I'm having to do this. And it's not my forte, but it's something that is, I keep talking about it. And it's something that is, it's one of those things like bath bombs. It's something that is I am being pulled to do. Yet I don't feel comfortable fully in doing it, because it's not my forte. It's not something that I identify with, but it is something that I feel needs to be done. I can see it in my head. I can see the energies with it, but I am not sure on doing it fully. So I know that sounds very aloof, but I don't want to say too much about it yet until I kind of start doing it, or if I start doing it. So this is where, with everything direct and Mars and Saturn squaring the South Node, it's realizing and making radical crazy terms right now. And looking at those radical crazy terms that we have to make within our lives and saying, yeah, okay, this is maybe the way I've always done it. And I might feel like I'm moving ahead with this, but it's not. It's not really truly where I need to be. And this is where that we have to stop and take a look at what is not working in our lives. What is not pulling us into the direction of our true spiritual selves? What is hindering us from us really shining in our true authentic selves? And taking a look at that. And when we see with Mars and Scorpio, like Mars rules Scorpio, that's life and death. Mars and Scorpio is life and death. This is where, if anybody has a Mars and Scorpio energy, it is where it's like, you know what, I'm going to do this and fuck all. Like, I'm going to just do this. This is what I'm going out to do. This is it. This is like very determined in whatever they're going to do. That is Mars. Mars is a forward motion. We're going to do this. I've had enough bullshit going on in my life. I'm doing this. Saturn wants to put the restrictions on. What are those restrictions? Why are you moving so fast? Why are you doing it that way? Is that truly the way that you really want to be doing it? Now, remember, Mars was one of the, you know, um, one of the mafia brothers, right? He's good. He is the devil card. He's going to show you if this is truly what you want. Are you sure? Because you know what? I can show you a different way. We're going to be under restraints, and we're going to feel these restraints of the world coming in tighter. And I'm going to say within the next 60 to 90 days, we're going to feel it. We're going to feel more of the economic ones, where we're going to be making choices on where my priorities and values lie. And that those choices could be, it's like, you know what? I think today I don't need a lot of stuff from the grocery store, so I'm going to walk and leave my car. This is where we're going to find where some choices economically are going to, we're going to be feeling those restraints. So this is where also, especially where Pluto is, and Pluto at these last degrees of Capricorn, he's bringing up crazy, and I got unethical, nasty shit up. and getting us to really look at this. And as he moves in, because he's going to be in Aquarius next year, he's going to be saying, where are you? Like, what are you wanting to create? Because with Pluto going into Aquarius, and that's not till next year, but this is where we're starting to say, where are we wanting to put our energies within our own community? Where do we want to create those communities, and what does that look like? And then you have with this Mars coming in, and sort of like Mars will bring in the darkness, and Mars will bring in the craziness. That's what Scorpio will do. Scorpio, hello, Scorpio. That's what Scorpio does. Hence, I'm a Scorpio. Scorpio brings in this darkness and wants you to take a look at, is this the direction that you truly want to go in? Is this where you want to put your energy or not? This is where it's like, with this 2.5-year cycle in our lives that grow into something significant, if we do the work to ground it down and bring it into manifestation, this is the time to look through the doorway, look at where things are being, the brambleberries are being taken away, and they're being pulled out, so you can see there's a gate there. Let's walk through that gate. Ace of Pentacles. Are you walking through that gate? There's that hedge that's all around, but there's a gate, there's an archway, there's a gate. Are you going to walk through the gate and do the work that you need to do in order for your highest good? And it's not going to be easy. As I said, strap on your bra, make sure it's on tight, and take out your false teeth. So this is telling you that, you know what? This is, let's get ready for this ride. Let's get ready. And with a massive T square in the heavens right now, and this is where Venus can say, can get the fuck out and go dream happy and just go into la la land. Do that. There's going to be, easy for us to go into la la land. It's going to be easy to pull you and get you distracted over here. But this is where it's like, you know what? I understand that distraction, but this is what I want to do. This is where I want to create. This is, whether it's whatever it is that you want to create, that you're being pulled totally to do. And this is the time to start doing it and go through the gate. This is the time. And this is where it's like finding that true spiritual self. And it's a true test because there's subconscious patterns where it's like, coming up and saying, oh, you can't do that. You've never done this before. This isn't the right choice. You're too old. You're too fat. You're too skinny. You're not rich enough. You're not this. You're not that. You don't blah, 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 blah. All of that's going to come up. But this is where your true spiritual self staying. And this is allowing for you to step into it. And this is bringing in the tip of the iceberg. It's always the tip of the iceberg, right? That we arrive at, and we got to make the changes. And the changes, and I'm going to let you know, are not easy. The changes are where you thought you're going back to that job, or you're going back to that place, or you're going to be continuing on within that relationship or that project or whatever it is. It isn't. It's something else. Something else is coming in. And this is where you find with that Saturn and Mars, there's a call and a direction, and it feels weird. And there's some odd little bumps in the road. And that's where we're heading. There's going to be some crazy news that's going to continue, that's going to come out, that's going to pull us off, and we're going to get caught up into something crazy. And the shadow side of this aspect are two malefics fighting for supremacy, which can manifest as power, control, dynamics, rigidity, domination, control, and heavy-handed actions that have karmic consequences. Saturn rules karma and can be seen in the karma of the father line, the myths, the father line. So right now, where Saturn castrates his father, Uranus, and Jupiter overthrows his father, Saturn, the younger son is Mars, and the old king is Saturn. And when the two combined, it can be explosive, And it can be a continuation of karma where one of the oppressors, I'm just reading my notes right now, one of the oppressors and the other of the oppressive, until the oppressive rises up to rebel and then becomes the oppressor himself. Now, I don't know about you, but I'm really over this karmic thread. I'm really over all this fucking bullshit with everything. And I'm very much ready for a new myth, a new way of rewriting our history. That's where we're at. How do you want to rewrite your history? How do you want to rewrite this? Because this is where each of us, and we might think that we're not doing much. We might think that we are, our wheels are spinning in the mud, but we're not going anywhere, yet we are. But the way it changes is by each individual person making that choice for themselves to walk through the gate, to stand in their true spiritual selves and go forward. That's how the change happens. And that's where we're at to make this. This is where we're at, this crossroads. And we are on a trajectory into the future, and this is where, with the nodes coming in with Mars and squaring the nodes, paving the way for Saturn to do the change. Like Saturn will say, is this really what you want? Take the chains off. Let's go forward. Look at the devil card. If you have tarot cards, look at the devil card. The devil card in the major arcanas, he's allowing you to take the chains off if you want the chains to be taken off. And this is where the crossroads are with the Saturn mastery. We can muster to make a decision that we will take us to a path of destiny. Venus keeps us entrenched and stuck in the path of karma. So she wants change. And we have Eris coming in, and she's coming in this Friday, Saturday, and she's going to quincunx. Quincunxes. I hate quincunxes. I got a few of them in my chart. Quincunxes are like, I don't know what choice I need to make. I'm not sure of which way to go. Oh my God, everything's out there, but I don't know how to use it. And Mercury's going to trigger things. And this is where, this is going to be explosive. And the goddess of discord, Eris, up against the south node of karma with Mars, this is coming in where we're saying we got to start making the changes we need to make in our lives. What is that direction that we need to make? And not getting caught up in the crazy narrative of the world that wants to keep us stuck. This is a time of rewriting a new history, rewriting a new way. But it's not going to be easy because we're going against the father line. The father line that has been dominant. And I'm not talking, go out there and hate men. It's not about hating men, but it's that narrative that is being fed to us for so long that we are saying, you know what? We don't want to have that narrative. We don't want to have it. We don't want to have poopy Biden there or dumbass PM or, silly boy Putin coming in and another dumbass, coming in and saying, you know what, we want power. It's like these little boys playing out on the playground. All want to play a game and they all want control of the fucking ball. And you're like, no, you're not. This is not how we're playing this game. And the thing is that it doesn't have to be all looking like a man. It can be a lot with women's energy, a woman coming in carrying that masculine energy because they don't know how to step into that true power of the feminine. That's where we start. In starting with ourselves, we are going to be creating and changing a whole generation or two. So it doesn't happen overnight. We are changing the generations for the next 7 generations ahead. But we can't do it if we're continuing on the same narrative as we have. That's where you find those communities That's where you find the group of people and work with that and grow with that. That's where you say, you know what, I'm tired of living in, you know, it's it's that fear. The fear comes in. It's like, I'm tired of working at this job. It's been too demanding on me and I need to make a change, but I'm scared to make the change because there's that steady paycheck that comes in, but it's eating me alive and I can't do this anymore. I can't bear to be in that job anymore. Yet, you know you have to make the change. You know you have to walk away from it or hand in your notice. Or you've been in a relationship that you know it's just been toxic. It's not doing you any good. That person's not supporting you. It's not leading you. It's too much arguing or fighting or craziness and you're saying no. Or it's the time when you wake up and you say, "You know what? I'm not drinking anymore. I don't need to have that drink at night to ease my um anxiety. I don't need to self-medicate anymore. I'm making a change to change it to a healthier lifestyle." What's that healthier lifestyle look like? What is that healthier lifestyle for you? And it may not be easy because all of a sudden it's like when you are changing, like just say, to create a healthier lifestyle, your body starts to crave that sugar. Your body starts to crave all of those things that you are not supposed to be eating. Your body's like, "No, I need that." This is where, these changes start to happen. This is where it's like, you know what? Maybe I need to find a group of people who cook healthy foods. I'm going to join a healthy group cooker people, whatever people cooking healthy foods, and learn how to do that. And begin to enjoy the process of having great food. Having great food. What is it like? It's not to starve yourself, but to start to say, "You know what? This makes me feel good. I love to be in this. This is what I love is coming to pass." Awesome. This is what I need to do. This is what I need to do in order to feel better. I need to get up. I need to go for a walk. I need to do my meditations. And not make the excuse, "Oh, it's too hard. That meditation's really hard to do. It's just too much. I can't say the words." Right now, we're doing a brand new meditation. And yeah, there's some, it's hard to say the words, but the vibration of it when it's done, it is so fabulous. And it's anchoring that energy into your day. And it doesn't happen overnight, it's a vibrational change. It's like throwing the rock in the pond. It's a vibrational change. It takes a while for those ripples to hit the shore. It's going to take a little bit. It's going to take a day today. It's going to say, "You know what? I'm opening the gate. I'm walking through this gate." Yeah, okay. I'm not sure what's on the other side right now, but it's going to be what I'm going to be creating. My mind goes to this in 18 I think it was in 1847, in around there, 1847 to 1850, when gold was found in California. And the gold was being found in California was opening up to great opportunities. Now, the East Coast was already, a lot of people living there, it was getting established. But this was an opportunity to take your family to somewhere new. Take your family to a place that not a lot of people were living, and go in a covered wagon. There's no roads, they aren't paved, and go across country on a new adventure. To take your family and say, "You know what? This is what we're going to do." And I'm not sure about how that's going to look, but I'm willing to make the change and I'm willing to step into the newness of it. But I'm not sure what that's going to be like. And crossing mountains and terrain, and to get to a place where you have no idea. You could strike it rich, or you may not strike it rich, but it's an opportunity maybe to create a new world for yourself that you never thought you could create, and establish something that you never thought you could establish before. And you got to think, I don't think California was a state yet. So you were going into a territory that was still part of Mexico, still strange, and but it was in that time, in those times where it's like, you know what? We got to make a change. And it's in these times now that we got to make a change. How do you want to make that change? It was like many who at the end of World War II, there was no work in Europe. Europe was desolate and deprived, and it was horrible. And things were changing, and people who had beautiful homes had to sell them because they couldn't afford them anymore. People who worked in an industry, it was no longer, it wasn't there anymore. They had to make changes. We're at the same time in our lives where we have to make changes. And they're going to be scary, bumpy, sometimes not knowing everything that's around the corner, but they're there. And we have to go forward in our lives, for our lives, in our decisions, what we need to do. In amongst the world being filled with brambleberries, bramble bushes. And if anybody's ever seen a bramble bush, they are not nice. They're thorny, they're horrible, they take over. They're just a horrible weed. They usually make up hedges, and they grow and they take over, and you have to really get in there and cut them. But in order to do that, sometimes you have to start, start cutting them down and burning off a little bit so you could get in there. And that's, sometimes we have to burn off some of the things that we need to do in our that are no longer. And it's going to feel weird and odd. And a lot is going to come in that's going to exalt us, that's going to bring in our exaltation, that's going to allow us to give us that energy. But we can do it because we came down here, we signed up. We said to God, we said to the goddess, and they're like, okay, my little sprites, are you sure? And you're like, oh yes, I am. I'm so sure. So this is where we are, it's like, where in your life are you sanctioning yourself? Where are you stopping yourself from going forward? Deep truth battles coming in. And that's today. That's starting today. This energy, this movement full. And this is where it's like, I feel like it's our last call. Last call. Who's going on the train? Who's going on the wagon? Because there is no train. There's no train. We all got to go in the wagon. Are you ready to go? It's going to be bumpy. It's going to be crazy. We're going to meet some people that maybe not like us. But there's also going to be a great adventure that's going to come out of this. And this is where there's going to be great opportunities that are going to come for us. But we got to take that chance to do it. So here we are. This is going to be an emotional feeling that I'm about my true self, and worrying about others. I can't always worry about them, but put yourself at the energy and feels natural to you and what feels right to you. Tough choices, not easy. Can't do this, and it is. There's that intensity of the day. And this is where we need to find our grounding. I love to look at the trees out my window. I'm always a tree watcher. Always find, or stopped at a stoplight and I'm telling my husband, "Ooh, look at those. Aren't the pine trees looking so dressed up today?" He just looks at me as if, okay, you've been smoking my weed, Mary. So, and we're going to find things that are going to trigger us. So you got to take action for a better life. And that's what we got to do. We can do this. We have the power, and we might be feeling at wit's end. We might be feeling a little overwhelmed. So then if we're feeling overwhelmed, we've got to call in the Holy Spirit and ask for inner peace and a miracle. And give it up to the Holy Spirit and ask for inner peace and a miracle. Give it up. Give it up. I'm sorry. I'm giving it up. Don't know what I'm going to do about this. It's like, hey, I don't know what I'm going to do about this month. I'm giving it up to the Holy Spirit and asking for inner peace and a miracle. That's all I can do. And look for opportunities that are going to create some kind of an abundance for me. That's all I can do right now. And take each day as it comes and be thankful that we're here. Be thankful that I'm taking the steps forward. So, news is going to blow your mind. Something's going to come up. Something's going to trigger something for us. And you know what? We just have to ground, and we have to find and trust in our God. Trust in God, trust in the goddess, trust in our angels, our Holy Spirit, and whatever, this beautiful energy of love and light for us to go forward. So we can bring in the love and the laughter and the beauty and the joy and the bliss into our lives. And this is where I feel like it's like sometimes it's in those crazy rocky moments that you come together and you're laughing and you find that a song comes on and it delights you and it has you dance, and sometimes takes you a little bit away from the stresses that you're feeling. But we got to take each moment. And if there's grieving to be done, allow for the grieving to be done, but we still got to move forward. We still have to move forward. So, my loves, I have a sale. 1 hour readings are on for $90 till Easter. So they will be done after Easter, my sale. I will be after Easter. I will start to post my workshops that will be happening in the spring to summer. So, and there'll be sales on with them if you are wanting to join. And onward and upward, everybody. May the Lord and the Lady watch over and bless each and every one of you in all that you say and all that you be and all that you do. Have a blessed day. Honor yourself through this all. It is, as I say, a bumpy road that we're heading into, but it's okay. We can do this. We got the 4-wheel drive on. We're ready for this. And the angels have our back. Have a blessed one, and we'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Blessed be. Bye-bye.